We are at India Energy Week 2025 and we have with us Mr. Neeraj Mangal, Chief Executive Officer, Laser India Private Limited. So sir, can you tell me about Laser India? What services and solutions are you providing the industry?
Yeah, absolutely, Mr. Jha. This is a German company, and we are into the safety relief valve, which is the almost the last line of defense into any process industry. And wherever there is a media, pressurized media in any form, whether it is a steam or gas or water or any toxic chemical, our valves are used. And we have the manufacturing plant in India, and also we have the entire engineering setup, and also we have a global competence center in India. Means our engineering team sitting in India is also providing support to the global teams located in Hamburg and in elsewhere in the world.
How is the market and what for the valve, and what is the response from India market to laser?
Yeah, I would say that we are very strongly placed in the Indian market. We are the largest safety valve manufacturing company in India. Annually, we produce approximately 32,000 safety relief valve, and we are present into all kinds of segments. So, largely talking about when we talk about power, then we are there in thermal power, fossil power or LNG gases, also the nuclear power. So all these places are covered. When you come to the hydrocarbon, upstream, midstream, downstream, all segments are covered by us. When you come to the chemical industry end users, whether it is agrochemical, special chemicals, paint industry, we also provide a very strong support into that. And also the OEM industry. So largely when you talk about compressor, when you talk about boilers, when you talk about all these kind of pumps, mechanical seal, these are and turbines. So this is our customer base, and we are largely present in every segment of this in Indian market.
Industry. So as it is a German company based here in India, so the valve you produce over here, it is for the domestic consumption, or are you exporting also these to other countries?
Yeah, it is largely for the domestic consumption. But also what is happening that our OEMs, the OEMs based in India, they are now having a larger global footprint. So for example, our very established customers who are into compressors and boilers and turbines, they are also able to penetrate the market in the Middle East. So maybe not directly, but indirectly it is very much there. At the same time, what happens that when you talk about Africa, so a lot of companies like fertilizers and various other fields, the Indian companies which are existing in India, they have gone and expanded in Africa. When they are our customers already in India, so they are our customers in Africa also. So largely we do export also. But at this moment of time, that is not the primary segment, because
the demand from the domestic market is
it's so good, and then and just in order to get more global and export oriented, we are expanding our factory.
So I'm coming there.
Yeah.
As demand is growing, and as you mentioned, you are expanding our factory. So what is the expansion plan, and how much you are going to invest?
So we are investing approximately 600 million rupees we will be spending when we already have the land with us. So we are expanding our factory by another 100,000 square feet. Presently also we have approximately 100,000 square feet of factory with us. So it's almost doubling the capacity. And our intention is also to invest very strongly into the machines and some very special processes. This business is highly driven by special processes. So when you think about offshore application, the painting standard has to be different. When you talk about oxygen application, then the cleanly levels have to be different. Now when we come to hydrogen and ammonia, we are more talking about cryogenic applications. So all these are special processes and they require a lot of space. So this is how we are expanding and we are doing in order to cater to the larger market and new requirements.
You are a legacy company. Uh, how have you been innovating your products, keeping the suitability of the products, what market requires?
So what happens, I mean, I would not boast too much that we are as innovative as a knowledge industry is where or a mobile phone is.
That you
This
don't-
is a very
yeah.
strong mechanical device.
Yes.
But at the same time, what is happening? That day by day, the plants are requiring more efficient plants, more precise plant. That means the processing condition for the plant are extremely stringent. The temperatures of the plants are increasing, the pressures are increasing, the capacities are increasing.
Yeah.
So all the time we have to break those kind of barrier. So for example, in our valve we are using a lot of O-rings. But then a certain O-ring can only be used up till say 400 degrees centigrade. But now the requirement comes for 500 degrees centigrade. So that is how we innovate and we bring in new products. And also the plants are becoming more and more economical. So people don't want reaction force, because if there is a reaction force, somebody has to make a very strong column to hold the reaction force. So we are making dual outlets and those kind of things. So this is how the innovation comes into our field, which we drive in India as well as in Germany.
And how do you enhance and maintain the quality of products? Because there are competition is quite high.
So when you come to the quality part,
Yeah.
we have, we are a German company and we take a lot of pride in processes. So, typically, an off the line, maybe out of turn remark from my side, that a German company may not be the best company for marketing and sales, but it is definitely the best company in engineering and very strong process monitoring. And that is what we stand for, and that is what pride we take into it. And also, our certification with respect to like ISO 9000. So it is not possible for me to have an ISO 9001 for Indian subsidiary. Our ISO 9001 is a global cluster certification. So if anyone loses out, the whole company loses out the ISO certification. So somehow or the other, it is a very, very automatic, highly automized, process-driven approach which we follow and very stringent into it. Not only we do very strong internal audits, we get it from our parent company from Germany also. So it's a very collaborative approach, but then the quality parts are very strong. And also, because we are in safety relief valve, you require a lot of documentation in the end to prove that your valve is performing.
Yeah.
So everything is online. And if you miss a step before, the next operation cannot happen. We all know how SAP
Yeah,
works.
yeah.
So unless a previous authorization takes place, the next authorization cannot come. So that is an inbuilt 4I principle in our system. That if someone has missed something, then the next operation, the window will not open for you.
Yeah. So, sir, you talked about like hydrogen, ammonia, semiconductor. These are emerging as a very, very good. Yes. How do you see your growth prospects for your company?
Well, so far in last 10 years, we have been growing almost like at a CAGR of 18%, whereas the market was growing at a CAGR of 7%. So that does mean that our growth was larger than the market growth, and we wish to continue that in that very manner. How do we do that? So now earlier when some of the products which were coming in from Germany, and we all know India is a very cost sensitive market, directly procuring something from Germany and able to sell it into the Indian market is not the easiest task. So more and more products are manufactured in India. Now we can say that we almost make the entire range in India. That gives us more market penetration, that gives us more opportunities. We very strongly approach to the emerging customer base, a very strong relationship with all the EPC companies. So right from Toyo, Technimon, Tata Projects, L&T Hydrocarbon, L&T
Okay.
Heavy Engineering Division for Nuclear Power Corporation, NTPC, NPCIL, GAIL, IOCL, BPCL. We very strongly connected with them. And when we look at their growth, it is not very unreasonable for me to think that we will be able to continue our growth at 18% CAGR year on year for sure.
And what is industry take on adopting the best quality, high quality safety valves? Because it is very much related to safety of the plant. So,
Mr. Jha, I would be, means I don't want to be very cryptic about it,
Yeah,
but you know, always there are two segments in the market. Of course, there is a segment which is extremely price sensitive,
Yes.
and sometimes they are ready to deviate on few things and something of that kind. Well, that's not my market. It's very simple. So I go to the addressable market only, where people are concerned about quality, where the people are concerned about approvals, accreditations, approved vendor list. This is the business where we can be competitive. In the end, the things can be done in multiple ways. But you always have to choose your customer also. And we are very fortunate that if you talk about the Indian industry, who is who of Indian industries on our customer list?
so of all the segments, like you talked about oil and gas, chemicals, energy, of all the segments, which segments are generating the maximum demand for you?
Hydrocarbon.
Hydrocarbon,
Yeah. So
oil and gas.
wherever you talk about hydrocarbon overall, this is like a huge important. Why I am saying hydrocarbon to you? Because hydrocarbon is the business which goes into all three segments. So hydrocarbon can be an EPC business, hydrocarbon can be an end user business, and hydrocarbon can be a OEM business also. So if you look into that eye, the hydrocarbon is one of the largest business. What is happening and what we are very optimistic about is the nuclear power. Maybe you heard in this budget also that India has a very ambitious target of by 2047 we want to make 100 gigawatt of electricity by nuclear power.
Nuclear power, yeah.
And today we make 7 gigawatt. So now you can calculate that what CAGR we are talking about. And also the government is talking, and our finance minister and prime minister is talking about 100 smaller reactors. So, and these are long gestation projects. So of course that means a lot of projects are going to come. So that is our very strong focus on that side. Ammonia is developing into a very big way. So ammonia is a focus area for us. And chemical was doing pretty good for last 2 years, not this year, but before that, post-COVID, I think 3 years were ruled by the chemical industry. They were enhancing their capacity. So whether you talk about fatty acids, you talk about nitric acid, or you talk about agrochemical, everyone was doing pretty decent. But I think now it's a bit of a cyclical thing where the capex cycle is completed into that part. If you would have asked me the same question 2 years back, I would have given you a different answer. But this is this year, so I mean, of course, hydrocarbon is the thing to look for.
Any message to the industry or manufacturer from your side in terms of maintaining the quality or going for the right quality products?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, safety. We always take very high pride into this. That if my product, or high pride, or rather very high sense of responsibility, that my product is for protection of either environment or for human life. And if you are compromising on safety valve, you are compromising on these two things. And without these two things, none of us survive. Human lives are important, and sustainability is not a slogan. We have to live by it. We cannot allow leakages, seepages, all have heard about the leakage in the Gulf of Mexico, and we have done. We are the country who have suffered the Bhopal gas tragedies
Yes,
and all these kind of things.
yes.
So, my earnest appeal to everyone is that go for certified, well-established manufacturers only. Go for right kind of stamping, approved valves. Test them thoroughly. Force your supplier like me to show that this is working right. That would be my request and message. This is the question of environment and human life.